Welcome to a special edition of BTVN. I'm Jonah.
And I'm Clara. Today is the 5th day of school and we've already done so much.
That's right, Clara. All of the high schoolers had their class retreats last Friday. Auditions for the upper school musical were this past week, and this Friday is Friday night lights and bites at the soccer field.
Sounds like a blast. Now we are here today to broadcast the Convocation ceremony. So Jonah, what is Convocation?
Well, convocation comes from the Latin word convocare, meaning to call or to come together. But you probably mean, what is the tradition at Barstow?
Yes. This will be the 3rd year for Convocation at Barstow, right?
That's right. So all the high school students and faculty line up and make circles in the senior circle, starting with the faculty, then the seniors, then juniors, sophomores, and finally freshmen in the middle. Then each class gives advice to the class underneath for the upcoming school year, leaving the faculty to give advice to the seniors about how to make their last year successful.
That sounds like a great start to the year. I hope our senior class gets some great advice from the faculty. Now we will take you live to the ceremony.
morning, everyone, and welcome to the Upper School Convocation. We are collected here today to formally begin the start of our school year. We gather together to charge each class with goals and with reflections that will last throughout the year. We challenge each class with words of wisdom gathered from the students of last year. Listen and remember carefully. Previous classes have reflected on their experiences and have thoughtfully crafted their challenges to you. Our reading today comes from Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you're the one who'll decide where to go. Please join Mr. Dickerson in the singing of Standards High. We will now introduce Mr. Shane Foster, who has a few remarks.
Thank you, Ms. Bartow, and good morning to all of you. Convocation literally means a call or a coming together. And today we are gathered around the senior circle, and we come together for the purpose of making promises to each other, to commit ourselves to excellence, and to accept the opportunities placed before us. If we look at the newspapers today, we turn on the television, we look at our computing device, the world can seem a bleak place. Violence on the streets, domestically and internationally, charges of dishonesty leveled at our politicians, and integrity issues at our academic institutions can all make for dismal reading. But there is hope. And you are that hope. You and the outstanding group of women and men that work with you can create a positive change. We stand here today as champions of that hope. We stand here today committed to making a difference. We stand here today making commitments to each other to make a positive change. As we grow older, we can often forget the excitement that a new year brings. We fall into a routine that can stifle our curiosity and our passion. We can act in a manner to conform with our peers to avoid the harshness of being ostracized. I know firsthand the pain of being made fun of for being different. Today is not the time to share with you that story, but at some point this year I will. But my point today is for you to remain curious and passionate, and don't lose your sense of who you are because of other people. I did something this last weekend that I haven't done since I was a child. I was walking my dog in the park, and I looked up and saw this really cool cloud formation. I quickly looked around, checked to see if anybody was watching, and I lay flat on my back, and I wanted to see faces in the clouds. Now, I must have looked pretty funny, a man my age lying flat on the back in the park with my dog jumping around licking my face. But I did find faces in those clouds, and I got up feeling like a kid. And is that a bad thing? I don't think so. I did something that I had asked the faculty and the staff to do at the opening meeting. For the moment I did this, I saw the world through the eyes of my 6-year-old self. with a sense of wonder and belief of what can be. I hope that as you go through this year, you will take advantage of all this school has to offer, and most importantly, be true to who you are. Faculty, I began the school year asking you to commit to meet the world with the attitude of a 6-year-old, with a sense of wonder and self-belief, the thought of what could be rather than what could not. You have the immense responsibility and privilege of being a teacher at one of the oldest and most prestigious independent schools in this country. You also have the responsibility of fostering curiosity and passion with your students. Your charge this year is to maintain your own sense of wonder and curiosity, and once in a while lie flat on your back and find faces in the clouds. Thank you very much.
We now introduce Amelia Smith and Spencer Walls to read the charge to the freshmen.
Freshmen, now is the time to build your foundation. Do your best on assignments and take advantage of extra credit starting now, so you have a cushion when things get harder.
You will have more free time now. Spend it wisely. The internet is a black hole of time wasting. Resist its pull. Don't wait to do all of your homework at home.
Procrastination is your enemy. Break those big assignments into smaller tasks and do them little by little each day. Don't wait until the last night. Not only does this give you the chance to ask for help as you work, but it is much less painful this way. Trust us.
Talk to your teachers early and often. In high school, asking questions isn't a sign of weakness. It's what you must do to get the most out of your classes. Stop by and see teachers for a chat or advice, even if it's not school related. You'll be glad you did. And don't forget to thank them often.
Like all things in Barstow and in life, you'll get a lot more out of class if you put yourself out there. Speak up, be opinionated, and ask questions. It makes discussions more fun. Those who think class is boring are the people who don't talk.
Pay attention to assignments when teachers say them in class and write them down immediately. Just because it wasn't online doesn't mean it wasn't assigned.
Experiment with different study methods. See what your friends do, especially those who do well on tests and papers. Give it a try. But know that others' methods won't always work for you. In the end, you have to find your own way.
Most importantly, actually learn something. Cramming doesn't teach you much. If you can't talk intelligently about the subject matter a week after the test is over, you've wasted your time. Learn for the love of learning, not for the grades.
In the coming months, you'll make your first impression on the high school community. Make it a good one. Keep the freshman hallway clean and clear. Bring food to advise you when it's your turn. When you're in sports, do your freshman duties without complaint. And please don't steal pencils and calculators just because you can't find yours.
Branch out and make new friends, but don't cut out your old friends. You can do both. Don't be afraid to talk to the people in the grade above you. We're nicer than you think. We've been where you are and we can help you out. Get involved in sports and clubs. They surround you with people with similar interests. Don't be afraid to try new things, even if you're kind of terrible at them.
Don't sacrifice your own personal ethics in order to be cool. Please don't try to fit a mold or a stereotype. Be yourself and let everyone else do the same.
Don't judge and don't gossip. Don't listen to it, don't spread it, don't tolerate it.
It's a small community and your actions will define you. Make those actions brave, giving, and kind.
Welcome to the upper school. We're glad you're here.
We now introduce Alexa Burt, Savannah Hubbard, and Carl Sharon to read the charge to the sophomores.
Sophomores, this year you will shoulder more responsibility and you will be given more trust. Academically, get ready to take a big step up. Make wise use of your free periods and do your work on time. Schedules and to-do lists are your friends. Be independent and use your resources. Seek help from teachers during free periods. The first 2 quarters go fast, so don't wait around hoping it will slow down. Jump right in.
The dreaded sophomore research project is really not that bad, we promise. Use your time and resources productively and all will go well. You might even like it. Be humble. The first draft of your work will not be flawless. You will need more active verbs. Ask questions. Revise. Teachers know if you're not prepared, you can't fake it.
In class, speak with your voice and your presence. Be confident. Put your phone down and listen. Leave the drama for the stage. Don't forget to laugh. Learning is fun, remember?
Outside of class, strive for balance. Keep your commitments. When joining a team or club, consider your workload. Missing class for these activities means more homework, so plan accordingly. Don't play every sport. It's impossible to do everything, and that's okay. Have a healthy social life. Make time for fun. Take care of yourself and your friends. Be safe. You might be driving. Be careful.
Serve your community joyfully. Find an organization you care about and make a commitment to volunteer there. Complete as many service hours as possible during first semester. Second semester is busy with the research project. Help the freshmen, give them useful tips, smile at them.
Finally, don't be that guy. Don't be the sophomore sitting in the commons who hasn't done the reading. Don't be the one who slacks on the research project. Don't be the one to text during an assembly, to take shortcuts, or to spread rumors. Be the sophomore who reads the books. Be the one who keeps class discussion fresh. Be the first to offer thoughtful insight, to praise a classmate's effort, to be a good friend. You can do it. We're here to help.
We now introduce Faisa Aslam and David DePriest to read the charge to the juniors.
Hey there, friends. You made it. You're juniors. You've finally risen above the confines of underclassmanship and earned your stripes. This comes with numerous new privileges and opportunities. Be excited for this. It isn't nearly as scary or as agonizing as we've made it look. But you also have a wealth of new responsibilities. When people look at you, you're no longer wide-eyed youngsters lacking basic motor skills. You've wrote a research paper. You've survived at least 2 years of high school. That's a massive feat. So you've got to act like it. You can't just vapidly float through your lives anymore, decrying any responsibility that's put on you. You've got to step up and carry the charge because come next year, you'll need to hit the ground running. You can't afford to put your personal development off until you're ready to confront yourself.
And do confront yourselves. One of the most valuable things you can do for yourself and others is to become self-aware. Notice the good things you do and the annoying things you do and work on them. Amplify the good. Mute the bad. Ask other people about yourself. Heed their criticism. Don't resign yourself to a violent rigidity that precludes any personal development. Don't be that person. Understand that you don't understand. You've learned, talked, read, discussed 1,000,001 issues in your academic experience. And be honest, you didn't get them all. Not even close. It's not easy, especially because so many of life's lessons have to be experienced in order for us to learn from them. Listen, observe, figure out how you feel about it, and learn where you stand in relation to others.
It's time to stop letting people tell you what to think. Have an opinion. Be secure in that opinion. But remember, it's okay to change your mind. You're going to be exposed to a near infinite number of new ideas. These new ideas can be scary, sure, but it's important that you start facing them now with people who you know and can help you understand and accept those ideas.
And respect is a two-way street. If you want it, you have to earn it by respecting others. You are surrounded by people who want to help you. If you haven't figured it out yet, the faculty and staff aren't just here to make you do stuff. They'll support you in every way they can. But if you want that relationship, you have to respect and earn it. Kindness isn't optional.
And remember, learning isn't exclusive to the classroom. Over the course of the year, you'll learn more about yourself and the people around you, but only if you're there. So be there. Be present. You only get out what you put in. No more excuses about people not letting you do what you want. The only person who can truly stop you is you.
No one can change the way you think. You alone hold that power. Juniors, have a wonderful year.
We now introduce Tess Phillips to be the charge to the seniors. I speak to you today as the first in a long line of senior year advice givers, speaking from a place of love that disguises itself as a soapbox. This year is filled with situations, friends, teachers, and people you've never met gathering together to support or finger wag in any way they think will serve you. You'll hear, when I was in high schools, and do's and don'ts and all the ways you can think of that people can possibly say, I want the best for you in more words than that. I want the best for you, and this is my version of that sentiment. My favorite piece of advice came from one of the senior seminars given by Miss Fulbright. While explaining to us not to sign up for a bank account just because the table has some free cookies and pens, she tried to articulate some of the ways we can start now to prevent getting into financial trouble after college. She started the sentence 3 different ways and finally said, "Don't let anyone tell you you're not a part of real life right now." It's tempting in our wonderful Barstow bubble to think that either none of this is lasting, so why get bent out of shape about this people or this place, or the contrary, none of this is lasting and isn't that tragic, let's cry every time someone mentions it. But this is real life, and those words in that order stuck with me more than any other senior year. What you are doing right now matters. What you aren't doing right now matters. Who you are right now matters. How you treat people right now matters. This is real life right now, just a young part of it. It's a wonderful part of it, and a part you'll never have again. A part where you learn, eat, create, and celebrate with the same group of people in the same building. I think the reason I loved what Miss Fulbright said so much is because she had to actively fight saying the thing that everybody else says in those situations. Now, I'm a big believer in the idea that cliches are cliches because everybody feels that way, so why can't we say it? But there are cliches about the world in high school that I have found don't apply to Barstow students, such as, in 5 years you won't even remember these people. High school is just to prepare you for college, and all I remember are the football games. But it's different here, and people fight to remind you of that every day. So my first piece of advice is this: listen to the people who want to help, to their do's and don'ts and subtle hints and ways of being. Listen the best you can, the way you can, to anything you can.
Pick a fragment or a sentence or an idea and decide that it's important to you. Make a conscious effort to learn something from everything that excites, awakens, or exhausts you. Show up to celebrate each other. Celebrate district championships and college acceptances and senior privileges and starring roles. Be proud of the people you surround yourself with and let them be proud of you. Seek out ways to let the people around you know you recognize and appreciate the things they do that cannot be quantified, because those things are often the best things. But tangible success is not shameful. Never let your friends feel belittled or inauthentic for pursuing excellence in a way you don't choose to prioritize. Along the same lines, never call a relative victory over preventable obstacles success. A last-minute paper with block quotes and size 20 punctuation that barely saves you from a progress report is not success. Don't kid yourself. Don't make people worry about you, because they will. Ask up front for the help you need. It's easier to stop digging a hole than to crawl out of one. Don't complain about your schedule. You picked it, you can do it, you have all the resources you need to succeed. Don't brag about your schedule. There's nothing glamorous or praiseworthy about aiming for less than you're capable of. This next line started out, follow the rules, but I decided last minute to change it to, don't inconvenience people unnecessarily, and it pretty much covered all the bases. Don't leave a mess in the lounge that someone else has to pick up. Don't bail on an assembly and make someone track you down. Don't copy homework and make a teacher have to punish you. You have stuff to do, they have stuff to do. Be courteous. Please never be so ready to leave. Or if you are, don't talk about it, because you probably aren't. I'm not, and I'm supposed to be in about a week and a half. Stuff like, I can't wait to get out of here, and senioritis, common in the second semester primarily, lend themselves to a whole set of avoidable problems. They shame the sentimental folk for clinging to their last months of high school, and they spread a vicious tone of eye-rolling and scoffing and snark through the whole high school. And it is contagious and sneaky, and it will make you resent the things that you love. And it may take until graduation or 5 years or until the end of the day for you to realize that temporary frustration does not stop Barstow from being an incredible place. So don't check out. Lastly, don't mourn too little or too often, but mourn a little. By design, senior year is sentimental. Barstow, a place that holds tightly to tradition, is filled with ceremonies, walks, leadership, and lasts to remind you each day in another form that you're almost done here. Appreciate these days and honor them, but don't let them stop you realizing that you're still here. Nostalgia doesn't need your help. Mourn the last chance to learn from these people. Mourn the last time you play your sport in front of your face-painted friends. Don't mourn too early, but please don't wait to mourn until you have a microphone at the junior-senior breakfast, because that would be embarrassing. Good things are happening here. Things you'll use and things you'll miss. You may be standing next to a future Fulbright scholar, White House press secretary, Broadway dancer, or biology teacher. You may be one. Real does not mean permanent. Your real world here exists, and you have time to build it into whatever you'd like to remember it as. You are team captains, directors, artists, authors, scholars, musicians, and Barstow seniors. Enjoy.
Thank you for your attendance today and for all that you do for the school. It promises to be a fabulous year. You're dismissed.
Wow, Tess had some really great advice for us, Jonah.
She really did. And all the classes and officers gave great advice to everyone, and everybody got some real great advice too. I'm really excited for senior year. How about you, Clara?
I am as well, Jonah.
Speaking of which, this Friday is Friday Night Lights at Bites at the soccer field, which is another great tradition we might start here, having lights at the Barstow School so we can have late night soccer games. Also, this upcoming Monday will be the first real episode of BTVN, so make sure to tune in. I'm Jonah.
And I'm Clara. Thanks for watching.